Season 38, war number 12, the final war of the season, and we're up against NXT. And this time my team will be Tigra, Valkyrie and Human Torch. A bit of a different team. I'm taking Path 4 in Section 1, as well as that Scorpion. Path 5 in Section 2, as well as that King Groot and Sasquatch. And then that Gorr and Immortal Hulk mini-bosses. Now I could have taken my normal team here and taken my normal paths, but since we already locked in our second place at Masters, I decided that I wanted to test out my Valkyrie in war. So I chose my paths based on that. The first fight here is a Rintrah on this steady build up Fury and running on Fumes nodes, and I'm taking it with Valkyrie. And the game plan here is to just keep hitting Rintrah's block and nothing else. By hitting his block he doesn't gain any mystical charges and he will not be able to neutralize you, meaning he doesn't really do anything as a defender. Now, to quickly explain how Valkyrie works here, whenever she hits into the opponent's block she gains a little bit of power, and whenever she gets her combo past a multiple of 10, so from 10 to 11, 20 to 21 and so on, she gains a Pierce buff which increases her block penetration. Those stack up very nicely and they allow Valkyrie to hit very hard through the opponent's block, and once she has 3 of those buffs she will also be doing instant bleeds through the block. So that basically allows Valkyrie to do these fights by simply hitting the opponent's block, and she does the fights pretty damn fast as well. And then to go over her special 2, it gives her a big Fury passive, which increases in potency depending on how many of those Pierce effects or her Bulwark effects she has on her. The Fury also pauses any of those passive Pierces and Bulwarks for the duration of the Fury. And the damage bonuses just get increased if you hit into the opponent's block, which results in some nasty damage as you can see here. And that is a rank 4 Rintrah down in a minute and a half without landing a single direct hit. And I finished it with full HP as well. Next up we have a Mr. Sinister on the steady build up Fury and long distance relationship nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Valkyrie. And now that I have gone over her damage, I'm gonna go over some of her utility here next. She has up to a 90% chance to purify any non-damaging debuffs, scaling with her block proficiency. At her base it starts at 0, but any masteries, synergies and such will increase it pretty quickly, and then when you add in those bulwark buffs or passive she has, it ramps up pretty fast. It's not a guaranteed chance, so you shouldn't rely on it on some fights, but she's very capable of taking something like the Path 4 nodes in Alliance War. And since she is purifying those debuffs, I am getting those Fury passives from the steady build up Fury node, which just makes this fight go very fast. And just to mention a few more pieces of utility she has against Mr. Sinister there, she doesn't crit through the block, so no regeneration for him, and throwing a special into the block that means the opponent will not get knocked down, which means no conduit either. Now this fight here is a Scorpion on the ebb and flow knockdown and right back at it nodes, and there really isn't anything special I need to mention here, but I would like to make a note of something regarding her instant bleeds. Instant bleeds are not considered debuffs, so when I go ahead and knock down Scorpion here to remove the protection, he will go debuff immune for a bit due to the right back at it node, but that does not prevent the instant bleeds from triggering through the block, which means that Valkyrie will still get her full damage output. Oh, and actually I lied, there is something I would like to mention here. Scorpion's evade does not trigger on blocked hits, which makes Valkyrie a great option against him. And if I'm gonna be honest, Valkyrie is very quickly climbing to the top of my favorites list, right up there with Kitty Pryde and Tigra and Black Cat. Now we're taking a small break from the Valkyrie fights as we have a King Groot on the power snack and one too many hits nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. Now the game plan here was to just drop my big special 2s whenever I get them, while also dancing around the power stings. And I say was because I messed it up. And Finn, how did you manage to mess up a King Groot fight with Tigra, you might ask? Well, I tried to go for a punish on King Groot's special 1, my spacing was all over the place, and now I'm at my special 3. So there goes the plan of just spamming special 2s. And then I get caught on a dashback, I get slapped around some more, just for being stupid. And yeah, this fight has started out horribly. At the very least I'm now at my special 3, I can use it to refresh my senses and apply that infinite duration rupture debuff, which will increase my special damage for the rest of the fight. And now all I need to do is just do what I wanted to do to begin with, and just get to my special 2s and use them whenever I don't have a power sting debuff on me. I won't be even trying to go for any special 1 punishes here with my heavy attack, just because I don't want a repeat of how the fight started. And I don't need it either. If I do knock him down, he gets the conduit debuff, which just means I need to wait around some more. And that's not something I really wanna do at this point, I just want out of the fight. There I did get clapped again some more, just to show how much I suck, but in the end King Groot hits like a wet noodle, so at least he didn't punish me too hard for it. Next up we have a Sorcerer Supreme on the Ebb and Flow Intercept node, and well, first off, excuse my pronunciation, it has way too many R's for me to handle, so I'm gonna go with that just to make it easier on myself. And now you may be wondering why I used Valkyrie for this fight and not Human Torch or even Tigra. And the answer: I have no clue. This is a horrible idea. I have no idea what I was thinking, but I wasn't thinking. Now there are 2 things that are very wrong with this fight. Number 1, she regenerates on blocked hits, and that is basically what Valkyrie does. So that alone is reason enough not to use her here. But I did it anyway. Reason number 2, Valkyries' pierces are buffs, and Sorcerer Supreme has a Nullify aura on her special 1, that combined with Mystic Dispersion level of 5, which everyone has in Tier 1 wars, that just means that I'm not gonna have a good time if she ever gets to use that special 1. So basically I need to rely on direct hits instead of blocked hits to deal my damage, and then I just need to hope that she does not use her special 1. And on top of that, I need to pray that she actually uses her special 2s whenever she gets them, because if she doesn't, that passive power gain is gonna get her to her special 3. At the very least, she doesn't regen from the instant bleeds, so at least my blocked hits are doing something. It's not a lot, but it's better than nothing. Here I get an intercept off, so I remove the protection and got that passive fury. I go for a special 2 into her block, and luckily that finishes her off so that I don't have to dance around in this fight anymore. That was a horrible matchup, I have no idea why I did it, but I finished it with full HP, so Valkyrie OP. Now we have a Nova on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I'm taking this one with Tigra. The game plan here is to use my basic attacks, first to corner him, after that I'm gonna be baiting his special 1s, punishing them with my heavy attack, and then dropping big special 2s. I will not be fishing for any intercepts, but luckily he lets me get one here before my special 2, and that speeds up the fight a lot. The first special 2 gets him to 44%, and now I just need to do that again. And the fight is over. Even if I can't get the intercept off before my special 2, it's not really an issue. Tigra has the damage output to take the fight down completely with the protection up the whole time, and still have some time to spare even for another Nova fight. So, a very simple fight for Tigra, as long as you can punish that special one. Next up we have a Sasquatch on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Human Torch, using his Nova Flame pre-fight. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, I was very tempted to take this fight with Valkyrie, but since this is my third last fight of the whole season and I am still deathless, I decided to play it safe and leave the testing for off-season. Now the game plan here, well, if you can call it a game plan when you use Human Torch against the Mystic, is just gonna be doing medium light combos and then weaving in some intercepts here and there to remove the protection. And the Nova Flames as well as the Power Stings are just gonna be melting him down very fast, and there really isn't any risk of death in this fight. However, I still would not recommend getting comboed, because it still hurts. I got pretty lucky in this fight with an early Wrath, which just makes the fight go even faster. When he enters the Wrath, he loses his damage reduction from the rage stacks, so he's just gonna be melting down at a normal pace like any other Mystic would. Now with protection down and basically no rage stacks, he's just gonna melt and the fight is over. And there is my one and only Human Torch fight for this war. Next up is a Gorr on the Safeguard miniboss node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. The game plan here was to just treat him like any other normal Tigra fight, punish his heavy attack and special 1 with my heavy to build up Ruptures and more power, and then just drop big special 2s to finish the fight. But I have been messing up my Tigra fights lately, and this one is no different. Instead of him just playing nicely, using that special 1 and allowing me to punish him and get to my special 2 before my senses drop off, he decides to be annoying, and that just leads to a whole lot of issues. Now I try to go for a special 2 here, Gorr X's it, and the special doesn't connect in time for me to pause my senses, and I lost my power gain. Now, since his special 1 animation takes a year to complete, I almost lose the primal sense as well, which means I lose all of my damage. And there I was gonna use my special 1 to refresh the contrast sense, but Gorr used his special 1 instead, which then allowed me to drop the primal sense and my damage with it. Now the fight should be back in track, but it's just taken a lot longer than it should have. A Gorr is usually around 20 seconds long, even on the Safeguard node, so this one being 1.5 minutes, it's pretty bad. But at least I got him down, and I'm still deathless, so I can't really complain. And now for the final fight of the whole season. An Immortal Hulk on the Stunning Affliction and Polka Dot Power miniboss nodes, and I'm taking it with Valkyrie. And the game plan here is to mainly hit into Immortal Hulk's block, because that still gives me power. Polka Dot Power node only prevents you from gaining power from hitting the opponent or getting hit by them, but it does not prevent ability power rate. So any abilities that give you power, such as power gain buffs or ghosts phasing, anything like that, will still give you power like normal, and that is basically what I'm trying to rely on here. Well, maybe rely is a strong word, since it is only an Immortal Hulk who doesn't have any abilities for me to worry about. I am still going for direct hits here, just so I can build up my bulwark buffs by inverting my combo. And there are a few reasons why I do that in this fight. Number 1, with Valkyrie at SIG 200, a single bulwark buff makes her completely immune to stun. So if something goes wrong and I would get parried, I eat a special, anything like that, I do not have to worry about getting stunned at all. And since this is a stunning reflection node, if for whatever reason I accidentally parry him, I can't be stunned by that either. The other reasons, well, if I do need to block at some point for whatever reason, the extra block proficiency is nice to have, and then if I do get to my special 2, the fury potency is increased for each of those bulwark buffs. Now that I'm fully ramped up with 3 pierces and 3 bulwarks, I start hitting his block only. For a few reasons. Number 1, I'm trying to get to my special 2 to finish him off. I will also take advantage of those instant bleeds. And finally, the blocked hits will not increase Immortal Hulk's gamma at all, meaning he will not trigger his immortality. And there he goes. A full health finish with a nice combo of 69. A perfect finish for the season. We actually did end up winning the war 15-6, and we ended up finishing the season at the 2nd place of Masters. As for my own season stats, I took this one a little bit easier. I finished with 117 attacker kills and 0 deaths. So a deathless season, which I am very happy about. As for the season rewards, I did not record my opening, but I went for a Science Nexus, hoping for a Scorpion Awakening, and I got him, so very happy about that. But that's enough of my rambling. This video is already like a week or 2 late, so I'm not gonna hold you here any longer. I do hope you enjoyed seeing some of that Valkyrie gameplay, and I do hope I get to show you some more next season. Thank you for watching.